Okay.
We have another young Indian with us, Voice of the Young segment. Hello, everyone. Good to be back with you. Right now, we have with us Aarushi Tibrewal. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Aarushi.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me here for the first, if I start, because I have been following you and your videos quite a lot. And being a part of it is, I think, I'm privileged and honored, to be very honest. So thank you for letting me be here. So I can start off with introducing what I'm doing about myself and what I'm doing right now. So I am I'm pursuing Master of Science in Economics from the University of Warwick, England. And if I talk about what I've done in the past, so I graduated with economics honors from University of Delhi. After that, I started working as an intern in Satwa Consulting, which is a social impact consulting firm. And after I took a research associate role at a fintech, which is named as Trip Capital. And I was in Mumbai for that, and I worked there for 1.5 years. And after that, I took up my Master of Science in Economics here in Warwick. Um, I can start off with the sharing, how I started, how I got inclined to economics as a subject, because now I'm studying masters in economics. So, how did I actually ended up here? It was not planned. It was not that somebody persuaded me to choose. Actually, ironically, I had no idea about this field when I was in my 11th standard and I had to choose commerce or science. So I took commerce, thinking that I'll study something different than what my parents and my sister did. They're engineers. So that is why I wanted to take up something different and to see what it's like, what's commerce, what is accountancy or economics. Everything was new and I had no idea. And being a 10 CGPA student in 10th standard, it's difficult to convince people why you're taking commerce and not science. But I did. And little did I know, because at that time, demonetization was like India. And whatever like knowledge that I was getting from my economics subject, somehow I was able to make sense of what was happening in the economy. And when I used to read the news, or when I used to, watch debates and all, that time I realized that my parents are not able to understand even the basic terms like GDP growth, unemployment, inflation rate, but I did it. And they used to ask me, an 11th standard, who just started economics, what do you mean by this? And my dad is like, he works in corporate. So I was very proud of myself of explaining these basic terms to him, to my sister. So I thought that, I felt proud about the subject, and I got very interested, like from that day, because I could relate with what was happening in the economy. So that's how I thought about taking economics. And then I got to know that the one of the best and most prestigious courses that Indian university offers is from Delhi University, and they have an amazing comprehensive curriculum where they teach readings of economists who've done real good work in the field, whether it be Indian economists or foreign economists. So apart from that, they also teach us different fields of economics. So I study development, international, and financial markets, and I've studied like everything, that economics, in a way, that economics has to offer. So I got very inclined towards applying for Delhi University, and I got in one of the real good colleges. I mean, it's called Janki Devi Memorial College. I think it's not that famous, but its economics department is actually really good. And the teachers, the professors, they are amazingly well. So they taught us well so that we could love the subject even more. So after actually doing my undergrad, I was a part of a lot of case competitions, right? Like economics case study competition, where you have to apply your economics knowledge to some hypothetical scenarios. So that that made me very intrigued with the subject again, because I was able to do it, and I thought that yes, I'm making sense of the scenarios of the situation that's happening around me. So I thought of doing masters then, but the idea was that I was not sure which field in economics should I choose, right? So development economics and macroeconomics is something that I love, but what about international trade? What about, say, financial economics? So I had to choose. So for that, I was like, let's start with gaining some experience in the field before making a choice of which masters I have to do. And that's how I started my internship in Satva Consulting. So it's basically working in the development sector. It's a social impact consulting firm. So they have projects where where these NGOs who are actually implementing and planning and implementing some of the some of their plans to for the development of the country for the in line with the UN sustainable goals. So that was something that was very interesting to see how apart from the numbers that we economists read, what's the ground reality and how these things actually work. If you talk about, okay, there is this much poverty in India, but what are these NGOs and companies which are having their CSR activities in these areas are actually working towards? So that was something that, again, was very fascinating for
Can
me.
I just ask a
Yeah,
question?
yeah, please.
Did you go out into the field on this impact evaluation, or was it desk based?
Yeah, so it happened during COVID. So unfortunately, everything was online, and we couldn't help it. It was the peak COVID wave, so everything was shut. But I did had an experience of doing like on-ground data collection during one of my research assistant programs when I was in undergrad. So it was about the project was by one of her professors, and her paper was on the idea that what was the impact of demonetization on the unemployment in the working age population in Delhi NCR region. So I had like the team had to go on ground for data collection, where we had to take like 20 minutes long interview of say daily wage earners, construction workers, rickshaw pullers and all. So that was a very, I would say, a different experience for me, because you have to actually interact with the people that you've never interacted before, and they come from a different background and you come from a different background, and convincing them to give an interview was something that was very challenging, honestly, and being in that environment was also challenging, but somehow it helped us understand how difficult it was for people to get out of demonetization, and how much they were impacted in real terms and beyond what we have studied or what we have read in the news. So that
Okay,
was quite interesting.
good. All right, let's continue.
Yeah. So after that, I got an experience in the development sector, but then I was like, okay, I might make a career out of it. But then again, somebody told me that I should explore more before making just, my just settling with one thing that I've just experienced. So that's how I took up in a different field. I took a job which was basically into trade, international trade, because Drip Capital is the target community for Drip Capital is Indian exporters or US importers. So my role was to understand what's the impact of the macroeconomic events, say oil price hike or supply chain crisis or COVID, or all these macro events impact on India's exports in particular sectors, and how they're going to impact these Indian exporters, and what recommendations I could give them to improve or to mitigate the risks. So that was something that was very interesting for me again, and I got very inclined towards international trade side of the economics. But at that time when I was working for them, I realized that without having like your, master's degree, I might make wrong or incomplete recommendation I don't want to do. So that is why I felt that I should upgrade my knowledge. I should get more of economics, than before I actually make recommendations to people. So that's how I applied for master courses here in the UK. And Warwick was one of my top choices. It's actually ranked 22nd in globally in economics. So it has an amazing curriculum, and the way of teaching is quite rigorous and comprehensive. So that's how I landed up in Warwick. So
Well,
that I
why,
just, yeah.
okay, why choose to go abroad and not do a master's in India, if I can ask that question? Because some people I know are debating that, whether to do the master's in India or to go abroad. And I can give an answer but the answer should really come from young people. So, do you have an answer to that?
Of course, because
Yeah.
I've been through that.
Yeah.
I was actually preparing for master's courses or masters in India. I had given entrance exams, and I'm glad you asked this question because the real reason is that even after preparing for 1 year straight, along with my studies, undergrad studies, and I got into a lot of colleges like Terry, Christ, etc., IIFT, but somehow I wanted that exposure, right? When I talk about coming from Delhi University, I think I got a lot of exposure. I worked on projects. I had that that knowledge that I can come here and compete with international talent. But somehow, when you come out of India, you realize that there are a lot of people from different ethnicity or different countries. They have different approach to the same problems, and then you start putting forward your view, and you hear what they have, what their views are on the topic, and it just gives a broader perspective than just being at one place. So that's how actually that was my idea of coming out
Mhm.
and exposing myself to all these views and gain experience, gain exposure.
How was the teaching style? Very different, right?
It's it's very different, sir, because it's been 2 weeks that I've been here, and I've already felt the difference, the vast difference in teaching. In India, if I talk about my undergrad, so we had regular classes, of course, but we used to just study. And the exams used to be like you just have to study, the material and the past papers, and then you can ace your exams. Of course, you have to use your brain a little bit, but here you just have to use your brain. It's like they'll teach you, but they'll give you questions that you have to rattle your brains, and the questions won't be the same as the last year. So you can't copy. You have to think and then answer. You can't copy from people. There, we used, it's a thing that you can copy answers also. People used to copy assignments and get marks, but here it's plagiarism is a crime. You cannot even if you do wrong referencing also, if you picked up something from an article or a research paper and you've referenced it but incorrectly, even then you'll score 0 marks. So
Wow.
here you cannot, yes, it's a crime. You cannot do plagiarism. So uh, I mean, that the real reason, the real motive behind this is so that they could make us good, polish us as good economists, right? Because
Mhm.
when we go out in the world, when we are handling bigger projects, they would know there you can't copy answers. You have to make your own answers, right?
Right.
So they are training us well. I actually have just started my course, so I think I'll get to know more about assessments and all. But I already feel that I am, at a right place with a lot of competition.
Yeah, well, Warwick is a very good university in economics. It's well known. And everybody who is perhaps it's not known to the average person who only thinks of LSE and Oxford and
Yes.
Cambridge. But to economists, it's well known, and there's not an issue. So I'm sure you'll get a very good education. And anything else you want to tell us?
Sure, sir. So I can tell you that a lot of people that once I'm here now, a lot of people have asked me, how can we, what's your experience? Is it worth it? Is it worth the money that you're putting? So I think I got my answer after I came here, so I can share that with you.
Please.
Um, yeah, so of course, it's a lot of money that you put in. I am coming from like a humble family, and I think a lot of people like me are, dreaming, or they dreamt about it before and they can't really pursue their dream of coming out and studying. But I would say that if you're studying, you're coming out to a good university, and like a university like University of Warwick, or like, the bigger university, the better universities, then more than getting, in India, this is the case where you see that, okay, a person is successful only after getting, 25 lakh package. So
Yeah.
you are doing good in your life.
Yeah.
But I feel that placements and packages are important, of course. That shows your caliber, your capability. But, the journey is also important. Just um, this experience grooms you as an economist, as a person. And if you study in a very good university, you can see that everybody is too good at economics, for example, at whatever they are doing, and they're just here because of their capabilities, and that motivates you to be even better, and to work even harder. So till the time I get a placement next year, I sit for it, and maybe I get a good package or a bad package. But I would say that it gives me so much skills and so much knowledge that I think it's worth the money. It's not just about ROI that you should see. You should also see the qualitative aspects that of the experience as well. So it's actually worth it, and people should not just back out thinking that, okay, I know funds are an important aspect. Of course, not everybody can afford it, but just accept funds if you can, and if you want to, then you should definitely come out and see the world. It's different than what's in India.
Yeah, that is for sure. Okay, that, once you step out of India, it's different. I mean, that's true for almost every country that, you are, whichever country you are in, when you step out, it's different. Okay. So, but it helps you grow, certainly, to see the difference and the variety and so on. So agree with you on that. Okay. Anything else you want to add about your own hobbies or your future or something that is on your mind?
Sure. So, I think I can talk about my hobbies. It's not related to economics,
No,
but
no,
I
it's okay. It's related to being young.
think yes, absolutely. So, yeah, so I think everybody should not just focus on their, career or studies, because that can just kill your youth, that can kill your youthful energy. It's always good to balance yourself with doing something that you really like. And for me, that's dancing. So I have had this chance of, maintaining that routine of mine where I make sure that no matter how my bad or good my day is, I spend some time dancing. I make friends because they are also into dancing, and I mean, having a hobby also helps you network, which is very important here and everywhere else actually. So I think everybody, just these times are very stressful, honestly. So it's very stressful to be competing all the time for placements, for colleges, even after that. So in these stressful times, we often, past our youth age, and we are in the middle age, and then we think about, oh, I just didn't do anything in my life other than making a career.
Mm,
So
mm.
I think with making a career, it's very important to just keep pursuing your hobby, and it helps you to balance your brain, and also it helps you to gain a lot of attention during interviews also, in a way. So if you have a good hobby, if you have something to show that yes, you have pursued something for a very long time, so even the recruiters are very interested to know about it. It shows that you are focus minded, and you pursue what you like. So it benefits you in the career as well. So pursuing hobby is something that you should always do.
Okay, what kind of dancing are you doing?
Not a trained dancer, sir, but I do Western dance, Bollywood dance. So I kind of, have a YouTube channel also. So it's
Wow.
just
You should have told us. We could have seen the channel before we started.
no, I'm sorry. It's just for fun and just for something that I just because there's a YouTube channel. I think it helps you to keep yourself consistent at something. So
Yeah,
you also have a YouTube channel, and I'm
yeah.
very inspired to see how consistent you have been. So it really helps to have a
Yeah,
YouTube
it
channel.
helps. I can say that from my own experience of the people I know, that having a hobby is very important and useful, and
Yes,
it certainly gives you a chance to balance things with the academics. Okay, so
absolutely.
you can't just be and uh, from the perspective of old age now, which is not relevant for you, but it's essential to have a hobby when you are old. So if you don't pick it up when you are young, then
Yeah,
you will be lost when you are old, because then you really need it. You
absolutely.
really need
Absolutely.
it. With this, I can tell you from my perspective, which is not your perspective. Okay, Arushi, anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, so there's another thing that I really like doing. So I have started I'm trying to build my LinkedIn presence. So this is also something that I want to say it out loud because it's very important. But I think these days the youth is not I don't know, they are not aware about it, or maybe they are just too lazy to do it. So LinkedIn is having a LinkedIn profile is the most important thing today, apart from having a career. So if you can, it is how you present yourself to the recruiters, to your network, to other people who are in the same field. So having a LinkedIn profile is the most important thing. If people have not made it yet, just go and just start making it, because that also helps you to get jobs. That also helps you to know what people have in their minds on a particular topic. And you when you network, you accept connections of the people of the same field. You also get to know what they are thinking on daily basis on what is happening. Say for economics, we study what's happening in the economy, and it's extremely dynamic. World economy, Indian economy, all of the economy is like very dynamic. And to study that, we have to be very on top of all the current affairs, what's happening, what's the impact on people of a country or in the world. So for that, LinkedIn is a source where I have been very fortunate to see how people are sharing their views, and it helps me to understand the topic better. And I think right now I've also started doing the same, where I also like sharing what I feel about a topic, and that helps me start conversation with the people in the same field. So having a LinkedIn profile and being active on it is something that everybody should do, and it's the need of the hour. So that's one thing that I wanted to
Well,
say.
that's how I found you.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
People ask me, because they are not, people of my age, they are not so heavily into what they call as social media. So they say, so both, how do you find all these young people? I said, no, I don't. They find me. They say, how do they find you? I said, well, you just have to be available on LinkedIn and it works, right?
It
That's
it definitely does.
it definitely works. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Arushi. I think if you have one last thing to add, let's do it, and then we can say bye to the viewers. But I think let's hear from you if you have something else to add.
Yes, I can, because it's the voice of youth. I think I would say that we have like youth today, in especially Indians, we have so much in our brains right now, and have so much to say. It's just that we don't have platforms where we could share our views. So we go to social media to share our views, where like say X, or like Twitter, former Twitter, or say LinkedIn, where we share our views. But I think the most important part is to share what you feel, whether it is social media platform or it's conversations like one we are having right now. Because somewhere or the other, other people who are suffering, or other people who are in skeptical about something, they feel that okay, others are also facing the same challenges, others have done it, so I can also do it. So when youth shares their view, I think other people who are suffering get a chance to see that okay, I can also make something out of myself. So it's very important to share what you feel on any platform, whatever you have. Just share what you have in your minds.
Okay, let me add something here, which is not yet well clear, but known, that I want this to be a channel, not just where I talk to you or experts and come and give their opinion. I increasingly am thinking that young people should use this channel to do something on their own. They want to organize an activity or a program or anything else that they want to do, that they can think of. Then they should be able to use both my Zoom and my YouTube channel. Okay, so use
Yes.
the Zoom channel to organize the activity. It's already paid for. There's no restrictions of any kind, number of hours and stuff like that. So, you don't have that 40-minute or number of viewers. You can have this channel and you can post on my YouTube channel. If you don't want to create your own YouTube channel, most welcome to post it there. So increasingly, I'm looking to, this is now a stable product. And it was experimental in April. It's not experimental anymore. And my definition of success in anything that I start is that I'm not needed anymore. Then it is successful. If it still needs me, then it's still work in progress. So I am moving towards it by saying that already on my own opinions and on experts' opinions, we have 4 or 5 young people every time now who are designated discussants and who get the material beforehand so that they come prepared with their comments. Okay.
Right.
I'm going down the list of people starting from April and including them there. So that's just one step to include young people. And the next step in my mind, which I have not yet done, or it's not my choice, is that you take the initiative. You create a event or activity or what, who knows? I don't know. I'm not young, so I don't know. I'm not a digital native. What do I know? So you create it, you set it up, you do it, you make it work in your own way. So don't be bound by rules and regulations of any kind. Be free. Use it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Use it. And if you want to have a dance colloquium of young people, do it. Do it. Because, where else will you writing stuff on Insta and all is very personal, no? But the collectiveness isn't there. So if it is
Absolutely.
to be collective and you are 20-year-olds and you want to some collective, use this channel. It's not, that's just a thought, but I haven't shared it publicly, but now I'm putting it to you and to people who will watch it, that please use
Yes.
this channel. It is not ultimately, if it is to succeed, then my role must go down, because look at my age and my energy. It's not going to be there, right? So the only way it can empower the youth is if it becomes something that increasingly the youth take it over, right?
Absolutely.
Then we can form it, run it as a more formal entity than it is now. Anyway, all that is just talk right now. I just want to say that this is an offer that's available now. Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Aarushi. Let's say bye now. And we'll
Thank you
catch
so
up with you in 1 year when you are, hopefully you have it's a 1 year course, right?
Yes, it's a
So
1 year course.
hopefully you have a job by then, some job, and we'll see what it is. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.